This episode of Breakthrough Success is brought to you by Jobber. Jobber is your business command center. The easy-to-use app powers your sales, operations, and customer service all in one place. Go check them out at getjobber.com/im/breakthrough to receive 20% off your first 6 months. What's up, Breakthrough Success listeners? Marc Guberti, the podcasting coach here, helping people launch, grow, and monetize their podcasts. And one of the big things that a lot of people hear about for making money is Amazon FBA. What is it? How are people actually making money with it? And how are people really able to turn it into a full-time income? Because that is certainly something some people are doing, such as our guest, who is a co-founder of Marketplace Superheroes, which is an education platform that teaches members how to create 5- and 7-figure income streams selling products on Amazon. Our guest and his partner are both 7-figure Amazon sellers and serial entrepreneurs who have built Marketplace Superheroes, as well as a full freight company and accountancy service for Amazon sellers. So our guest for this episode of Breakthrough Success is none other than Stephen Summers. Stephen, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Mark. What an introduction, I tell you. You rocked through that like I've never seen before. Good job.
Stephen, I'm so happy to have you on the show. And I feel like Amazon FBA, we've talked about it a little bit before on Breakthrough Success. It's not a heavy topic, but I feel like it's something that would help people. For some people, it could be just an extra stream. For others, it could literally be full-time. So Can you share a little bit with us how you got started with Amazon FBA and when you realized, oh, wow, this could be a full-time income?
Yeah, sure. So just to give some context, I'm 32 years old now, and I started into this whole journey of Amazon when I was about 22, 23. So I'm doing it now almost 10 years. And when I got started, I was like a lot of people, right? I was trying to find a way to build a business online, but I didn't know A to Z of how businesses work. Honestly, I didn't know how to make money, to be completely honest. And so I looked around online for a lot of different things I could do. So I looked at affiliate marketing. I looked at lots of other stuff. And I realized, number one, I don't really have any expertise in any one area. I'm not somebody who was well known back then. I didn't have any confidence in that kind of stuff. And I thought, what's a business I can get involved in where I don't have to do any of that? And so for me, selling products online became a really logical solution, right? Because I didn't have to be an expert in anything per se. I didn't have to sell things to people on Facebook and get afraid of that kind of stuff. I didn't have to, have any massive, long prior experience in order to be successful. I could just find somebody who was already doing what I was wanting to do, and I could sell those same physical products online. So I looked around for a long, long time. This was before I got started when I was 23. This is like 19 to 23, that kind of age group. I worked in jobs, and I got kind of in this situation where I was playing in a band, and I was trying to make that happen. And so while I was trying to do that, working in this job, basically the band ended, and I was in this situation where it's like, right, well, I've been looking at all this online, how to make money stuff. I'm going to take this seriously now. And so when I was 22, I met my now still business partner, Robert, and he started showing me how he was building a business, selling products on Amazon, and at the time on eBay as well. And so I basically decided when I was 23, I'm going to go and spend a week with this guy and learn as much as I can and see where it goes from there. And so cutting a long story short, I saw this business. It was a cold warehouse. As I always say, there were like a few rats running around. It wasn't exactly a beautiful place to be. However, it was a great starter for me to learn how to do business. And so cutting a long story short, I learned with Robert for almost a year. And basically I decided together, we decided we were going to create this business where we no longer needed his warehouse. We no longer needed the staff anymore. We could just go onto Amazon, use this thing called Fulfillment by Amazon, and basically build a global business. And we did over about the next 4 years, built our company into multiple 7-figure business. And then, saw an opportunity whereby lots of people were teaching this Amazon thing, air quotes, and many of them were good, but many of them were not so good. And people didn't really understand the size of a product, the weight of a product, all these different things are really important. And they didn't understand the types of products they should be selling. And so we just thought, look, we've worked at this together for a long time now, Robert a lot longer than I, and we thought we had something new to bring to the world. So that's where Marketplace Superheroes came from. So I'm doing this almost 10 years, and yeah, it definitely changed my life in many, many, many ways, as well as now we've worked with over 4,000 people who started from scratch as well. So I have a lot of experience of seeing people go from complete scratch to building a real business. And I'm just excited to share what everyone knows today.
And one of the things I do want to get into, because there's really a lot of sound bites there for us to jump into, and Amazon FBA alone is a big topic, but I feel like a lot of people, you hit on a point where I feel like a lot of people could relate. Like, you did the affiliate marketing, you did all these different things, and then Amazon FBA happened to be the thing for you. But can you share with us a little bit of how you were able to just say, okay, affiliate marketing, that's a thing, this is the thing, this is the thing, but I'm going to focus on Amazon FBA. How'd you get that focus and not get distracted?
Yeah, it's a great question. And I see that all the time. Distractions are a major issue. For me, it was because I met Robert and I saw somebody with a real business. And I actually saw real products being sold every single day to real people. And so it was very easy for me to really believe in that particular business because I could see with my own eyes, like, this is a real thing, you know? And I definitely think that's a great point because, like, a lot of people, myself included, when I was trying to look into affiliate marketing and all, I remember, like, Googling things like, you know, is affiliate marketing real? Which is such a funny thing to say because, I mean, of course it's real. It's just that, you know, when you're up and coming, you don't understand business, you have all these fears and you've never seen something happen before. So had I have met somebody maybe who was a real expert in affiliate marketing and they showed me their business and they showed me what they were doing, maybe I would have kind of believed in air quotes a bit more because I saw it. And so that really was what helped me say, I'm shutting off all of our distractions now. I'm going all in because I have somebody who knows what they're doing and I've seen it's a real thing. I've seen it's a real business. So now it's simply a matter of, number one, learning as much as I can possibly learn about the topic. Number two, finding a way to give this person value so that I can actually start a business with them. And then number three, it was once I figured out those two things, it was a case of, right, we need to re-engineer his business at the time with our new company because the products that he was selling were very saturated and he had been selling the same products for years and years and years. So we basically, in the space of about 12 months, had to re-engineer the whole business, find completely new products, and start the company almost again. We had some products that we would sell, but basically had to start again. And it was great, you know, within 12 to 18 months, we really turned the business around into a 7-figure business again, pretty much from scratch, very, very small amount of products that we were selling at the time. And yeah, it was going all in was easy then because I had no other choice, right? And so I didn't give myself a choice. I had to make it successful or go back to my job, which I quit, which I wasn't prepared to do.
And it is like you do have to go all in. Like for me, I've seen that going all in on my podcast and YouTube coaching. That's really helped me a lot. I'm using LinkedIn, I'm using Facebook to get all these different clients, my books, my podcasts. So when you go all in on something, it is easier for you to get those different results. One of the things I want to ask you about Amazon FBA, this is sort of a two-part question. You're mentioning the size and the weight of, I mean, that's really important because like they have to get stored somewhere. I know those are some factors that affect how much it costs for the item to stay put until you sell it. So I'm wondering if you could share with us, how do you determine what products to get? And then how do you actually get those products?
Yeah, it's a really common question. And, you know, a lot of people will give a lot of different answers. But the way I look at it is, and we look at it is, Amazon, we look at it almost like a big stock market. And on that market, there are millions of products being sold. And what we look to determine is what are the products that are low competition, obviously, but also the supply of those low competition products are not particularly good, meaning the listings are poor, the products are poor themselves, the offers are not very good, meaning it's just selling the one product, they don't have any bonus items or anything like that. And so when we put all of those elements together, from the listing quality to the offer to pricing and everything in between, we're basically able to determine if we brought our own version of this product in with some better quality bonuses, a better quality product, maybe even better pricing with a better listing, and we ran some Amazon paid advertising to this product, we should be able to compete and we should be able to, in some ways, dominate this market. So that's kind of our basic overview, and I'll break down a little more about how we do it in just a second. The other way that is taught out there is you want to get a product and you want to sell as many as you possibly can every single day and keep pushing that product until you're selling 100 units a day, and then only then should you move on. And we always looked at that and said, you know, that as a methodology, sure, it works for some people, but we were never that comfortable with that because it always felt like we were putting so much on the line with one product rather than doing what we do, which we call the rule of 5. So what the rule of 5 is if you can imagine selling 5 simple, boring, non-trendy products. And I'll give some examples in a sec too. So 5 products, we sell them in 5 Amazon markets. So obviously Amazon.com is a huge market, but there's Amazon.co.uk in the UK, .de in Germany, .fr in France, IT, ES, Italy, and Spain, and so many more. But if you just sold in 5 markets, and you made an average of 5 sales per day per product per country, you made an average net profit of $5 every time you made a sale. So it's 5 by 5 by 5 by 5 over a 30-day period. That comes out to $18,750 a month in net profit. So that's net profit. It's not revenue. It's not gross profit. It's net profit after all expenses have been paid to Amazon and you imported the item. So for us then, our business model, quote unquote, is basically selling lots of products that make a small number of sales in a number of Amazon markets at the same time. And it's just very different to what a lot of other people are doing in this market. Not that there's anything wrong with their approaches. It's just that's the methodology we had a lot of success with and can continue to, as well as our members. So it made a lot of sense to us. Now, you asked me how do we find the products. Well, essentially what we do is we go to, let's just say we went to Amazon, we went to home and kitchen, for example. So that's like a big category in Amazon. And we would click through there, we'd find the top 100 best-selling items in that particular category. And what we would then do is we would start going down through those top 100 and saying to ourselves, first of all, can we sell this item? How competitive is the item? And to know how competitive an item is, you take the generic keyword. So let's say it was plastic shoebox. We type it into Amazon and we see how many results come back. So if it's more than 10,000 results, it's going to be too competitive at a very base level. Lots of other things we do, but we won't get into that today because it'll just be 2 hours, 3 hours here maybe, Mike, which we better not do. So basically, yeah, we find these products and we say top 100 first, what can we sell? Then when we see ones we can sell, we actually click into the items and we start to identify what do the reviews look like for this item, how many, what quality is the listing like, etc. And typically we find in the top 100 best-selling products in the category, they're always too competitive. So what we then do is all the items that we've been clicking through, we start to look at what are other related items that are related to this proven product. We know it sells. What are other proven selling products that we can take a look at and we can start to see, number one, how many search results come back when we search the keyword. Number two, we look at how many, what is the bestseller rank of the first page of results for that type of a product. So again, it's kind of hard to do not visually, but just to explain at a very simple level, what you're basically talking about is you find a plastic shoebox, you go down, you find a weird, let's take a carboy carrier. Somehow you'd find that. That's basically a little strap you put on this thing called a carboy. It's a big glass tumbler you use for making cider and stuff like that. I never knew what the hell that was before I got into Amazon. Now I do. So basically, we would find these different items that are not plastic shoeboxes that are related to that one. Other people bought it or whatever. And we'd start to see, if we put in carboy carrier into Amazon, how many results do we get back? Oh, we get back 323. Okay, that looks interesting. Is anything less than 1,000 that looks good? We'll check it. So you can really summarize it by proven items, and we do checks to make sure that they're not too competitive and very simple. But of course, there's a lot more good when you. So that's kind of answering the process of how we go about finding the items in the first place.
And it's interesting how you're looking at the ranking of the product. You're looking at how many products are out there. So there are a lot of numbers to this. So I can see how you view Amazon as like the stock market with just millions of different products instead of securities. I'm wondering if you could share with us how you get the actual product. I've heard of some people, they go to Walmart, they buy the product cheaper. I've heard of other people that use Alibaba. What's your approach for creating your own product and then being able to list it on Amazon?
Yeah, so at a very simple level, when we find the opportunity that looks interesting, we do use Alibaba, also using agents that our members use as well. But Alibaba still are defined products, but what we're always looking for is we're trying to have something that looks cosmetically different what's already selling on Amazon. It can have a different color, different shape, different size, whatever the case may be. Also, what we do is we look at products that are going to prove to sell, and we're able to see from the customer reviews, what are different opportunities we have for products. So if it was a pool rake, as we use that example all the time in India as well, people are sick and tired of it. So basically, if you take a pool rake and it was 6 foot, well, maybe someone's, I really think this product could be better for 7 foot. So that's an opportunity to go and find a 7 foot pool rake. Maybe nobody else is selling that, but it would have a marked advantage if enough people said they were interested in that. Someone might say this pool basket was low quality, it broke easily. So we would then, when we go to Alibaba, we would find something, number one, that looks a little bit different. Number two, that then brings into play all the things people said that they didn't like or did like about a product. So we always try to make sure everything people said like our product has, and everything people said they didn't like about the products that were working, we try to find alternatives that are better, that are more better quality, whatever the case may be. So let's say we found the basket was poor quality on the pool rake. We might then find a cosmetically different looking pool rake in Alibaba. We go and check how long they've been selling on Alibaba for. We see if they're gold rated inspection, that kind of thing. We see all that, we're happy, then we speak to them that question. Hey, like, is the quality good? What do you feel about that? We've heard complaints about similar types of products. Typically, Chinese suppliers will always tell you their stuff is great, of course. That's why we always do a product sample before we would ever consider actually purchasing an order with that particular supplier. So yeah, and what we do then is when we're communicating with them, we're looking to get what we call the OB price, which is the free on board price. And basically, that's the price that the supplier is going to charge us to produce our own unit that they're producing for us. And that might have our own logo on it. It might have a lot of different things like that. Now, we don't create a brand new product from scratch, because that's not something we do right now. When you get more advanced, yes, maybe you can tweak the products, you can tweak the design, but you have to remember, if you're doing that, you're literally altering how a factory produces a product. So obviously, that's a very big deal. So we don't do that from the get-go. That could be something that happens when you're a bit more advanced. So anyway, when we're speaking to that supplier, we get that cost price, and they're also going to give us what they call their MOQ. And that just means their minimum order quantity. So that's the minimum amount of products that they will produce for us at a certain price. Now, when you're doing your first shipment, just a really cool insider tip, you want to always try to get your first order to below 60% MOQ. So if they say we'll make 500 units for you, you're looking to negotiate 300 units or less. And we explain to the supplier, we're doing a trial order, we're testing this in our market, we're looking to see if it's going to be something people are interested in. And then, pending a successful product launch, we will obviously be back and we will order at the minimum order quantity level going forward. So they're all things you want to do. When you're speaking to suppliers as well, you want to make sure that you're saying all the time, you want to build a long-term relationship. You value that relationship very much. And this is all down to a lot of kind of Chinese business philosophy. Not something you don't have to worry about too much, but they're very big on respect, relationships, long-term relationships. And so we still receive things like calendars and presents from our suppliers every year. They send you these weird things sometimes. Like, calendars are not that weird, but they send you the weird things from time to time. And it's all down to the fact that they're trying to build a relationship with you. And so it's important to know how to come across as well, because if you come across like, hey, I live in my parents' bedroom, I'm looking to buy 50 units of this thing. I want you to put my logo on it. I want exclusivity worldwide. You're just not going to be taken seriously. And that's why we typically give our members a lot of scripts and stuff like that they can copy, paste, and localize when they're speaking to suppliers for the first time, so that they come across professional. And that's an important thing as well.
Coming up, we'll have a simplified version of Amazon FBA and a bunch of other strategies you can use to be successful with Amazon FBA coming up. But first, we have the Jobber Minute, and people like to ask, how will Jobber benefit me and my business? Well, the entire purpose of Jobber is to help home service businesses succeed. Their software is designed to help owners like yourself cut down on operational stuff like invoicing, scheduling, and reporting by creating helpful tools that do these things for you faster and easier. So this will allow you to spend more time focusing on other areas of your business, such as marketing, employee training, and the services that you provide. You can customize your platform to meet your specific business needs and share it with everyone on your team, so no communication goes unmissed. Your customers can even check appointments, review invoices, and make payments through Jobber's Client Hub, making it easier for them too. And we all know happy customers equals more positive reviews and referrals, which means more money into your pocket. That's some of the ways that Jobber is helping businesses all around the world. And if you guys want more information plus a really awesome discount, feel free to head over to getjobber.com/im/breakthrough to find out more about their features and services. Anyway, let's get right back into the episode. So just to make sure we're all getting this right, the basic summary of this, obviously there's more to it. There's courses. Steven teaches people all about Amazon FBA. But pretty much you find a good product on Amazon. You say, this is the product I want. You go to Alibaba, get them to produce it cheap. you sell it a little higher on Amazon, and then there's your margin with like fees and other stuff like that, and using Amazon ads to fuel the growth. Is that pretty much the whole strategy, or is there anything that I missed there?
Yeah, in very base terms, yeah, I mean, it's pretty accurate. Obviously, little things like, you know, when we're speaking to Alibaba suppliers, yeah, we're looking for something that is cost effective. We do a lot of, we give a lot of software and stuff for our members so that they can basically plug all the numbers into a software. You plug in the length, the width, the height of a product, you plug in the FOB cost price, you do all that stuff, and the tool will tell you, this is how much you're going to make if you're selling at this particular price. So before you even place a sample order from a supplier, you know, exactly how much money you're going to be making every time you make a sale, as long as you're selling at that price. So there's a lot of confidence you can gain from that. But at a very base level, yes, you go to Amazon, you find products that are not trendy, that we would call boring. You do not sell trendy, popular items. We go very much against the grain there. We're then looking to sell a number of low competition products in as many Amazon countries at the same time as we possibly can. And we're using Alibaba to find our supplier. And just to explain something as well, fulfillment by Amazon, how that really works is as follows. Number one, we find the product opportunity like we've been talking about. We find a supplier. Then we place the order and we import the product. Now, we actually have our own freight company, like you mentioned at the top of the introduction, and that's what we actually utilize to import products with our members. We save them a lot of money versus going to like a freight forwarder who doesn't understand your business as a huge pain in the ass. We do all this for our members now because we know how important it is to make it easy for people. So that said, we bring the product into stock, meaning to our pre-Amazon warehouse. It sits in our warehouse. Then when that happens, you will then tell Amazon, hey, Amazon, I want to send 50 of this 300 units into your warehouse. Where would you like me to send it? And you then have Amazon come collect it from the warehouse. Very simple. That's what happens. Then when it's in an Amazon warehouse, you sell your product on Amazon. So you list your product, put your title in, your images in, your bullet points in, your description. We teach everybody how to do that. It's very simple how to do all of that. And then what happens is every time you make a sale, Amazon will ship out your product on your behalf to each individual customer. Now, with our model, we don't just do that, like I mentioned, in Amazon.com. We also send some of our inventory over to Europe. Now, this is not something you have to do. However, it's going to help you do that thing I talked about, that rule of 5 thing, which is you got your same product in more countries at the same time. If you don't send your products literally to Europe, what's going to happen is that you pay so that's why we ship to Europe. Then when we ship products over to Europe, send them to every single country, right? Send them to one European country, to the UK, accidentally put them in. We have a warehouse of hampers, put in the stock in the UK, we hold it. Thing is that whenever you make a sale, one person, a French person, Italian, Spanish, UK, and any of the surrounding countries, Amazon, just the same on your behalf to that person. They'll also do your customer service for you in multiple languages. So you really can have a global business selling your own products on Amazon. You don't have all these warehouse teams and staff like we used to have, because we have people like Amazon. And obviously now you have people like ourselves who are fulfilling that role between to Amazon. And that's basically the entire model at a very base level.
And getting on those multiple countries is really important, as Stephen mentions, because, I mean, Amazon.com, people think of Amazon.com right away, especially if you're in the US, but you're not thinking of all these other Amazon sites that they have for all these different countries, which, since a lot of people are not thinking of them, that also gives you an opportunity to stand out better in an area that could be oversaturated on Amazon.com, but not on some of the other Amazon sites. So,
yeah, you saw a lady just today. I was speaking to her. I did a customer success story today, and she had products and she was selling them in the UK. She was selling them in .com. They didn't do very well there. She picked the wrong product in the first place was her problem. But then she actually brought them to Amazon Canada, and now they're flying in Amazon Canada. So yeah, what you say is true. Now she should have picked a different type of product. That's a story for another day. That said, though, even the product that she made a mistake with, she was actually able to turn it into a really successful business because she had more than one market. And that's the thing. You can never have just one product. You can never have just one market. You should always maximize as much as you possibly can your product line and your market line as well.
So it sounds like, I mean, you have a bunch of products, they do well, you're able to reinvest that to try more products and keep making more money. But for the starting point, how much money does it make sense for someone to invest? Because they don't know if it works. I know you know it works, but like for someone who doesn't know how, like, what's a reasonable amount of money you could expect to invest for that first product?
Yeah, well, your first product, you can invest anywhere from $800 to $3,000, maximum $3,000, right? I've seen people do less than that, depending on the FOB price of the product. But, there's no point saying it's going to be anything less than about at least $800. And again, like, you've got to look at this and say, this is a real business that you're starting. I mean, if you went out and started a coffee shop in your local town, Mark, how much would you say it would cost you to start a coffee shop in your local town right now? Yes.
A lot more than 800.
Yeah. So you're into tens of thousands, really, because
Yeah.
you got to get the building, staff, the machinery, all that kind of stuff, right? So we'll also tell people, like, if you're starting an e-com business, especially one where you're doing your own private label products, you got to be prepared to put a little bit of money in for sure. There's people I know who started this business with $25,000, $50,000, and they've been able to shortcut their success massively because obviously they've got more money to invest in the business. But you can get started very comfortably for what I just talked about. And then what your goal is to sell out your products in 3 to 6 months. Sorry, 3 to 9 months, I should say. 9 being really bad, 3 being pretty quick, 6 being about average. And then what you're looking to do is you're looking to double your investment initially. So some people might say, oh, it doesn't sound that great that, like, I'm doubling my money in 3, 6 months, whatever. But you have to understand, like, this is a passive business. It's not something that you're every day sitting there, trying to make every single sale personally. This has been done while you're doing your life. Also, you have to understand any investment. I mean, doubling your money in 3 to 6 months, most investors the world over would be begging you for where can they do that, because they're getting at best 30% return, probably less, especially with things like real estate. It's been proven that it returns about 12%, 18% year on year, right? So you got to understand that as well. So when you take all those factors into consideration, you think, I can sell my products globally. They're my own products. They're not somebody else's. I can leverage Amazon to help me do it, the whole thing. And I don't have to leave my home. And I can build a business from wherever I want. It's a really cool thing to do. Now, I would also say that when you're starting any business, you should have the same attitude. I mean, even for you, Mark, like, you look at building your podcast or YouTube channel, like, it didn't cost you zero to launch all those things, right? It costs something.
Yeah, it costs a lot.
You got to buy the gear. You got to buy. You got to then sometimes work with editors, or you're going to be spending all your time editing videos, editing audio if you're on your own. So every real business has investments within it. So we call it the coffee shop reality, whereby you in the past would have put so much money into a coffee shop. You're selling lattes. Now you're selling your own products globally at the same time. So that's what I would say. Like I say, the more you can put in, the better. But at the same time, even if you had 20 grand to put into this business, I would still say to somebody, look, just take 30% of that, 6 grand, and start there, and start small first. Then here's the real key to this business, and it's the key to any product-based business, really. You are pushing the boulder up the hill first to get your products launched, get them working, get them selling. But when your product and working for you, your boulder up the hill, now you can take that real monthly, real business to any lending institution, and you can say, hey, I've got these products. They're weird dog whistles or whatever you're selling, right? And they're doing well. Here's where they sell on Amazon. Here's how much they sell for. Here's how much I make. I'm looking to expand this. I'm looking to buy more products for my business. But the problem is I don't have enough capital right now. So I'm looking for you to finance only the proven ones. And then that'll enable me to take the leftover money and obviously all my business. So that's, I guess, a little snapshot of how you scale any business, by the way. Look at any huge retailer. It's all about the turn time. How can they reduce the amount it takes to sell something out? So you bring in that first product and you get in more product. The faster you can sell your item out, you can reduce that down. The faster you get your profit back. And the faster you can go to somebody and say, hey, you should fund this. And then you take the other money and you buy in more products at a very base level.
Wow. And I love how you broke it down. You said anywhere from $800 to $3,000 for someone just starting out, because not everyone really likes to give those kind of hard numbers. And it is good for people to know what they're getting into. And
yes,
it is worth it to invest that kind of money for something that could produce 7 figures, for something that could really allow you to grow. So really fascinating stuff. I know that you've got marketplace superheroes, which we will throw a link to in the description. But anyway, once again, thank you so much for coming on the show. It was such a pleasure having you on the show. This episode of Breakthrough Success was brought to you by Jobber. Jobber is your business's command center. The easy-to-use app powers your sales, operations, and customer service all in one place. Start a free trial or sign up today to receive 20% off your first 6 months over at getjobber.com/IM/breakthrough.